Hello, this is Mandolin again. Now I want to give you a close-up demonstration here of how to put volumes to these forms that I showed you in my first tutorial. Just the forms. I see I got something else on me here that I shouldn't have, so I better take it out because it's showing through. Let's see now, where are we here? Okay, we need to have it clean under there. Now, I know this doesn't seem very fancy to you people compared to what you probably see on YouTube, but we're not going to get fancy here. I made the forms as you see in pen, and I'm going to use a pencil also to show you how to make these look to have volume, or to bring them into shape rather than just a line drawing. This is a line drawing. Now, line drawings are fine if you're out there sketching and you don't have time to put in values and things. Now, here we have the square, the cylinder, the cone, the pyramid, the sphere, and the half sphere, and the hexagon. Down here we have showed you what we can do. We can take a block and lengthen it and make something like a box, for example. If you put a line across here, then of course you have the box cover. You can take the cone and the half sphere. Use the half sphere for the bottom of a glass, and the cone right side up as the top of the glass. And here you would get just a cylinder, sort of a jar, with little cylinders on top for the cork or the cover. Okay, now first off we want to make those just plain drawings, line drawings, look like they have some weight, some volume to them. Okay, now you can do that in two ways. You can start off by using a pen and just making lines in them, you know, like this. Okay, now suddenly just those little lines gives this volume. There. Okay. Now, if an object has a volume and the light is coming from, say, this way, you're going to have, it has to have something to sit on, so you make a straight line underneath of it, and then if it's solid, it has a volume, it has a shadow. So if the light's coming from this way, the shadow will be here. That's the cast shadow, okay? The cast shadow. It will cast a shadow. It will be darker there and lighter up as it goes away from the object. Now also, that would give, if this is a solid piece of, say, a solid piece of glass, then you would get some shadow here, okay? You would get some shadow here, like this. And as you go over, you go lighter and lighter because you got your lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter, because this is your highlights over here. But remember, if it's solid, the light's coming from here, it's not hitting in here. Okay? And pardon me for that, okay? I don't know where I got that habit. I never used to say that. The light hits on this side of the object. So you see now how just some scribbles will make something look, and you're going to get your highlights, your middle lights, and your highlights, so forth. You go lighter and 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 lighter. There you go. You have your volume. Okay? There I go again. I apologize. Now, up here, I'm just going to give you the light coming from one area. And that's going to show you that it will give you volume. Now, there you go. Your pyramid has volume. And naturally, because it has volume, it's going to cast a shadow out here. Okay? There's a shadow, a good cast. Out here. Because the light's coming from here. Here, you would have the same thing. The same thing with a sphere. Now, with this hexagon, you would get light here, dark here, because the light is hitting other places. And I will, in the future, also show you how the light's hitting from here. This is going to be not so dark, more light here, and light on the top. And it's the same thing with this, but you can make this a volume by just making some marks like this. See? Okay, it's a volume now. But it has to cast shadow. It has to cast a shadow. I'm doing this fast. It has to cast a shadow. The light's coming from here. Okay, now I'm going to go, now as far as the cube is concerned, the light's coming from there. This one is going to be dark. Completely dark. There will be some reflected light. We'll get into that later. But this is just a simple objects and where they are dark. There. Here it's the same with the box. It will be dark here. This table is moving a bit. Now, because the light's from here, this will be all lighter, and down here would be not getting as much light because it will be grayer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show that by putting in with the pencil. You see what I mean? And not so dark. And that would be the same with this, but the light's coming from around here like this and it's hitting it here. The same with this, the light's coming and hitting it there. Now the sphere, with the cone, it would be the same thing. The light would be coming from here and you would get darker and lighter and lighter. And even if you filled it all in, you still could get lighter and lighter and lighter. And the light, of course, the cast shadow at the cone here. And remember, always darker where it's near the object, and as it falls away, it gets lighter, the shadow, the cast shadow. See the same here. Now you can see the difference between just the sphere, the line drawing, and the filling in of the areas from which the light cannot hit. Now light waves travels in a straight line. They travel like this. They cannot go and bend around to go here. Okay? They travel straight and stay straight. But if you're here, you will get some reflection from the light as it passes, the light waves, and this way. And you will this way a bit, and you'll be a little lighter here than you would be over here if you were standing here or there. It's the same thing with the objects. The dark area, the side of your pencil, try to get the lid as long as you can. Number 2, I think this is what I have here. Yes, that gives a pretty good shade. You could use you don't want to use this for that sort of thing. You want to switch to a pencil to do your volume shading. Now, if the light's coming from here, this side's going to be dark and a little lighter there, and this is going to be, there's going to be a cast shadow from this on to this, okay, right there. Now, okay, and then you go over lighter and lighter and lighter, lighter and lighter and lighter, and you get a little bit light there, and you get your cast shadow, and you get your cast shadow here. You got to have a line underneath, and you get your cast shadow. Maybe not that long, it all depends on what you see. I'm not seeing any cast shadow here, I'm just saying that it has to have a cast shadow. And remember, always darker near the object. Always darker near the object. The same with this. You can put this in if you like, and that makes a difference. There you go. The same thing with this. I'm doing it all on one side, but it would be the same if the sunlight or your light was coming from here, your darks would be over here. Instead, it's coming from this way, so better take that out of there before you think that it's coming from there. Oh, that doesn't work. So that proves don't use an eraser. Better to leave your mistakes showing when you're doing and working for yourself in your own sketchbook, because after all, your sketchbook is a personal thing where you make your sketches and your notes and so forth on what you're doing, and not usually shown to people. It's something that you should keep, you know, if you wish to do so, private, and so on. Now, the sphere, you could make the lines, or you could just go like this. Darker and darker. There you go. Suddenly you got a ball.